Welcome back, my people. Today we have a big leg day. Cybex hack is back in the equation, so we're going to go through an updated leg day. Before we actually begin, I'm going to take you through the structure of the session, which is as follows. Hanging leg raise to begin with. Now, I do a form of abdominal work before every single session. Reason for that, again, it's a light warm-up, and it does actually improve my shoulder health from a hanging stretch. Ask any shoulder specialist, they will actually tell you hanging is probably one of the best things you can do, especially for your shoulder health. So tick off 2 boxes, looking after my shoulder health and abdominal work and pre-preparation before the session. And obviously as a bodybuilder, guys, your abdominal control can never be good enough. So get an opportunity to train your abs in various ways, shapes and forms through rope crunches and leg raises is definitely a great shout. So exercise number 1, leg raise, which I don't really count as an exercise, but you know, some people will probably pick on me in the comments and be like, it's actually an exercise. Well, to me, guys, it's not. Official exercise number 1 is going to be adductor. 2 working sets, working a rep range of 8 to 15 reps. First set, it's going to be a heavier set, 8 to 10 reps. Hopefully, we'll try and get a little bit more above the 10 rep range with a stack if we're feeling lucky. So we'll definitely make that happen. And the back of set, slightly higher rep range. Now, exercise number 2 is going to be the lying leg curl. 2 working sets here again, guys, and I will actually push that up to 3 when I am a little bit deeper into my push-up phase, as this is pretty much week 1 after my diet phase. So volume is still very low relative to what I can recover from. Exercise number 3, leg extensions. And now here, this is where I will do 2 working sets before I go into my heavy compound work. The reason why I personally have to do the leg extension before I actually do the hack squat, it's pretty simple. I have a very strong squat pattern. So for me, it only makes sense to do a movement before that isolates my quad to simply reduce the load exposure, which in essence allows me to have a more long-term progression on that lift without running into any knee issues and any pain. So I really like doing it this way. It's not something I do with everyone. You know, a lot of my clients don't actually have any isolation work before compound lifts. But again, there's a big difference, guys. I will be using 6 plates there on the hack for reps. Not many people can actually do that with great form. So there's a big difference, guys. You need to be strategic what you do and how you do it to have longevity across your training program and across your training cycle. I'm not going to call it mesocycle because it's just cringy. A lot of people call it, you know, something so simple like a training block, a mesocycle, which again, it's a training block. It's not a mesocycle, guys. Stop, you know, trying to throw big words out. It's something so simple. The leg press I'll be using will be Gym Leco. And the reason why I tell you use this one, it's extremely hard and it's extremely heavy. So I don't have to use a ton of plates to load it up with. And it's a very direct movement for my quads as well. So I'll be getting a lot of knee flexion as well. It can be very harsh on the knees if you do take it past a certain loading point. And here, guys, it will be 1 working set, maybe 2 if I feel good enough. But again, this is where I'm kind of basing my volume based off how I feel in the session. So the volume will escalate slightly, but it's not going to be anything significant. It's going to basically going from like 9 working sets that I've been doing on total of the session up to like 12 working sets, which is still quite low volume for most people. And again, the volume that we work with, guys, is going to vary person to person. So don't look at what I do. You may actually need more volume or you may need less, depending on your recovery capabilities. So that's a big point, guys, you have to really consider when it comes to programming. And that's a massive point I actually consider with a lot of my clients. Now, exercise number 6. So it's actually exercise number 1, adductor. Exercise number 2, lying ham curl. Exercise number 3, leg extension. Number 4, hack squat. Number 5, leg press. Exercise number 6, dumbbell RDL. Now, the reason why I place the dumbbell RDL there is, again, training my hamstrings in length and range and challenging my glute in the length and range as well, which I need both more hamstrings and glutes. So it does make sense for me to prioritize these lifts, and I will be doing 2 working sets here. First set is going to be just a straight set, great control, and the back of set I'll actually do pause reps. So that is the plan of action for that. Exercise number 7, one of the very last but not least exercises, is going to be the seated ham curl. Only 1 working set here, guys, and I do have scope to build up to 2 working sets, as again, priority for me is building up my hamstrings. So again, slight shift away from the volume from the quads, prioritizing the hamstring and allowing for more volume with my hamstring work as well. Now, last exercise, I seated calf press. Exercise number 8. I know it sounds like a lot on paper, but it really isn't. Exercise number 8 is calf press, which again, when I look at the total training volume for the session, I don't really count calves as training volume all that well, because it takes no effort from me to actually obliterate my calves, especially at the end of the session, because what you guys notice is my energy is very high throughout the session. So I'm still able to really put a lot of work in my calf raises 2 hours in after my leg day. So that is the plan of action, guys, for today. That is the breakdown of the session and the hows and whys of what I'm doing right now and how. And the reason why I want to go over this way before I actually train, guys, because I don't know what mood I'm going to be in. I might talk a lot, I might not. For me, it's very important now to really make sure I get after these sets. And if I want to talk and it's not going to take away from my focus, at times I will talk and I'll go over what I need. But again, it just all depends on the mood I'm in, guys. And I'm not going to try and force something just to create content, because I'm not a content creator, I'm a bodybuilder first and foremost. So strap in and let's go. See, I'll stop myself then. Now, intra-workout, guys. 20 grams of performance fuel, 20 grams of sustain. It's a lot less than you've seen previously because I am reverse dieting. My calories are still relatively low to what I am usually used to. So it's only 40 grams of carbohydrates in that from a mixture of performance fuel and Trade by JP sustain. Again, look it up on the site, guys. Kuba10 for your discount code to get yours. That is what I will have start to sip from pretty much exercise number 1. So I will literally go and do a set of leg raise and I'll start sipping this straight away. I will just add a little bit more water to it, as I do like to make sure that I drink at least just over a litre. This is a 1.5 litre bottle, so I'll take it up to here, where I know that I'm drinking about a litre and a bit to make sure my hydration is on point and I don't have to drink quite as much before bed, so I can stay asleep for longer. Now, what you'll notice, guys, around the hack squat time, which is going to be around the halfway point of the session, I'm actually going to down my NPS max, which is going to be 25 grams of NPS max, mixed with a little bit of water in there, which is going to be my protein portion that is spread evenly throughout my protein feedings across the day. So I had my pre-workout meal at 10 to 12, which that's the time I always have my pre-workout meal at, no matter what. And then my next protein feedings, which are going to be 2:30, the next one after that 4:30, making sure that I get even protein feedings. So in case you wondered why I don't put EAs in this and have it separately, again, if I know someone can remember to do that, I will program that in for them. If I know they can't, I'll just get them to mix it together. You know, for me, the 1% really does make a difference. For most people, it doesn't. So try it out for yourself, guys, and let me know what you like. One thing I want you to understand is the purpose behind every warm-up set. Now, when you look at an elite fighter going to any bout, every single punch, every single strike has fucking bad intentions. That's exactly what we're trying to do across any warm-up sets. Every single set and all the work that we'll put in place on the gym floor has bad intentions. It's all done with intent and a purpose behind it. We don't waste reps, we don't waste sets. Even the warm-up sets have a purpose and they matter, just like they do in a fight. Every punch matters. This is the same principle when it comes to training. Yep. Okay. So, as you notice, guys, every single rep is initiated with a contraction. We're not just trying to fire the weight in, we're trying to actually use the least momentum possible to make the movement as hard as we physically can. Because ultimately, it's not just moving the weight from A to B that builds the muscle tissue. It's the amount of mechanical tension that we can create on the muscle tissue that will create the biggest stimulus to create adaptation and that muscle to grow. So you have to be strategic with what you do and how you do it in the gym. Because our goal is not just weightlifting, it's bodybuilding. We're trying to build muscle tissue. And weightlifting, it's a totally different opposite goal than it actually is building muscle mass. the way, all the way. Yep. Okay, that's all the warm-up sets done now. So 3 warm-up sets before the first hamstring isolation exercise. It's the same pattern we did on the adductor. I always need between 3 to 5 warm-up sets across every exercise, especially on leg day. I do take my time. So on paper, it's not much work in sets because the total number of working sets isn't that great. However, the prep work we have to do with the warm-up and feeder sets, it's actually much higher to get there safely. But one thing you'll notice, guys, is we don't actually waste any energy or any effort into these warm-up sets. We still have a lot of intent, but we save all the power and all the energy for the actual working sets when it truly matters. One thing that I will go over that will really allow you to sink in, understand this a little bit more, is we'll talk about rest periods and why some people need more sets when they simply have shorter rest periods. Now, the main reason why people often need more sets when they shorten the rest periods is because the quality of stimulus that they're getting across each and every single set is actually much lower. So in order to get an adaptive response, they actually need more sets to get quality work in, to actually get what they need. Where in essence, they could actually create a time window for having longer rest periods that will then result in higher quality sets, allowing you to get more stimulus from less. So in case you wonder, guys, why so many guys often do tons of sets with short rest periods, that is the reason why, guys. And for me, the most effective way is actually doing less with having more quality work in place. The reason why I always program a lying leg curl or seated leg curl before any squat pattern or even a leg press is I found that doing a hamstring exercise, especially the lying leg curl, allows me to almost prep my joint for the squat movement, where my knee always feels so much better actually going into a squat pattern after getting some hamstring work in. So personally, I would never actually go into any compound lift now without at least doing a hamstring curl prior to it, because I found just the benefits that you get when it comes to keeping your joint in a safe place outweigh the benefits of potential load exposure with being able to handle more weight. So for me, it's a no-brainer, but to always get some hamstring work in place. And realistically, your hamstrings can never be big enough as well. When these are going on, you know it's about to go down. So exercise number 3, leg extension. The most painful exercise of them all. Think how effective this exercise is largely dependent on your pain threshold, because most people see stop on this exercise due to just pain, not actual failure. So with leg extension, guys, build up your tolerance, because the more it hurts, the better. And the deeper you can take that set, the more benefit you actually get from it. So strap in, quite literally strap in, send it to the moon, and just ride it out. It's only pain, it goes away. Write that one down. Take this rep now. That's it, all the way, good. Well done. Leave it there, leave it there. What?
I know.
What are you going to get out of a half rep? Apart from just feel fucked.
You're right.
So crack the fuck on, let's go. 4 weeks out is not the time to fucking grind through reps. Take fucking note. If you've got a training partner and he trains like this at 4.5 weeks out, tell him when to fucking stop. Otherwise, he's going to get buried and he'll not get the outcome that he wants. The time and the place where you send it to the fucking moon, that time and the place is not past the 6 week out mark. Once you start getting lean, like he is now, that's when you actually keep yourself locked in a cage where we're keeping a tight leash. Stay on a leash, get fucking peeled and win some places.
Get your head in it. Come on, get your head in it. Come on. All right, now you're moving. Come on. Now you're moving. Come on. Okay.
Ah!
One rep. Let's fucking go. Set yourself. You take it. Get
Go!
Good.
Right. Okay. That was a hard set. So I'm pretty happy with that set, but I know I can still make it better. So this is the third session back on the Cybex hack. Last week I got 10 reps, but I don't think it was as good as this week. So I'm gonna stick with that way again next week. And I'm simply gonna aim to get a better set in place. Try and match the rep or get an extra rep. Once I'm fully satisfied with the control I have over that load, that is when I'll start to load it up, because my goal on that piece now is to get to 7 plates with that sort of control for reps. The only way I'll be able to do that is if I stay extremely patient with it and just keep chipping away session by session and just keep building it up without using any momentum to change direction and use momentum to get any reps. Momentum serves no purpose. Momentum kills gains. My favourite saying of all time. Like that one now. as I said, just finished up on the hack and the MPS is going down, so even protein feedings. When you start getting close, it's inevitable. It's a rep, so it doesn't matter. That's literally from losing leverage, that's all it is. So we need to be mindful of that. It's not true regression when you compare your body weight with certain lifts like this. Because I bet your isolation work's holding up. Exactly. So if your isolation work, a single joint movements are holding up, that's fine. Your multi-joint lifts, your compound work, that's where you always start to see a slight decline when your body weight drops down due to leverage, that's all it is. So if you ever wonder, guys, how to gauge what is going on in prep as you start coming down and getting condition, that's a rough guide to follow. So I'll send you my PayPal link below so you can donate, saving your preps and saving your emotions. That finished off hamstring nicely. So guys, last but not the least, we've got a seated calf press, which is a disgusting exercise to finish off on, but it's something about it. The pain it brings also gives you a bit of joy. So get stuck in, punish your calves hard. Promise you, the non-responders that say they can't build any calves, they just don't train them hard enough, that's a fact. I literally had shins back in the day. Why? I trained my calves like a pussycat. That soon changed, and all of a sudden my calves grew. So if I can grow them, so can you. my people, that is a wrap. Great session ticked off today, and plenty to take away from into my next session as well, with just a few movements that I want to get better. So the way I structure things is I only take load progressions when I'm entirely happy with the sets. Just because you're not taking a load progression does not mean you're actually progressing your lift, because you can improve your control, your execution, your range, and your tempo, which in essence leads to greater adaptations, that actually leads to improving your exercise and improving the amount of tension you can create in the muscle. So on that thought, guys, I will leave you alone. And guys, support the channel, like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff, and take care for now, guys. Thank you. Peace out.